Hello everyone, it's your girl Asia from Orange Spangle. Oh my god. Hello everyone, it's your girl Asia from Orange Spangle channel. Welcome back to my channel. I have missed talking to you guys. So there's a video I want to make today, you guys, first things first I want to say is that there are a lot of videos that I'm going to be making recently besides Degrassi that will be me talking about Joaquin Phoenix's movies. The ones that I have seen that I want to talk about that stuck out to me the most as far as his performance, the stories, all of that. I was supposed to do that a very long time ago, but I think I stopped because I had so much Degrassi content because I was doing the Degrassi reviews at the time for the seasons that it was just too hard to multitask, so I just focused on Degrassi. I don't really have that much Degrassi topics to really talk about. Like I said, I usually just have to watch the show to go back and look at something to where I want to talk about it. The videos that I do want to talk about for Degrassi, those are going to be the main ones I focus on up until I see something that makes me want to talk about it. But for the time being, Degrassi content and me talking about Joaquin Phoenix's movies and things of that nature will be what I will talk about. So for this video, I want to talk about Joaquin Phoenix's movie Her, and specifically what I want to talk about is the conversation him and his ex-wife had at the table. So Her is a movie that came out in 2013. It is Joaquin Phoenix is the main character. His name is Theodore. They follow him. He is a very sensitive, emotional, very intelligent man. He works in a business where he helps people when it comes to love. He writes love letters to people to help them, with their relationships or just with them loving themselves. And in the sense of that, he is very lonely, and due to his loneliness, he connects with his AI laptop named Samantha, who was voiced by no other, one of my main crushes, Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson is one of the finest women I've ever seen. She is just breathtaking. Okay, that's really the best I can put it. And I felt like using her voice to be something that guides him through life or he falls in love with eventually was really the best way to go, because Scarlett Johansson, I don't know if any other people feel this way, but Scarlett Johansson does have a very seductive voice. Like, her voice is so soft and so raspy and very low to where it's like, damn, how loud can you get? And it just tends, that's just how she normally speaks. So I didn't have an issue with her voicing Samantha. You feel me? So, like I said, Joaquin Phoenix's character Theodore and his ex-wife Catherine. I think her name is Catherine, but it's spelled with a C instead of a K, so I'm just going to say her name is Catherine. They're sitting at the table, they're talking about how life's been since they, went their separate ways and whatnot. And throughout the movie, they show flashbacks of Theodore and Catherine's relationship, showing how happy they were and where they start to drift. And one of the main things I love about this movie is that life is very unexpected. And I think you kind of have to go with knowing you have to expect the unexpected. Like, Theodore and his wife, they've been together since they've been in high school, so it's just like, to him, he thought that they would be together forever. You feel me? He never would have thought that one day he would wake up and she said she want a divorce, like she just can't do this anymore. When she originally wanted a divorce, she was like on his ass about signing papers, but he just couldn't do it yet because he was very much still in love with her. But then once he started falling in love with his AI chip, his AI computer, that's when he knew it was time for him to sign the papers and just start a whole new fresh start. So she told him there really wasn't a rush for her to sign the papers. When it's like, no, sign these papers because you've been on my ass about me not signing the papers. I need you to go ahead and sign them. Let's just get this shit done and over with. Let's just stop. We ain't signed the papers yet because we thought maybe there'd be some hope where we could reconnect, but obviously that ain't happened, so let's just go our separate ways. You feel me? So in the movie, I remember specifically Samantha asked him, his AI computer, why did him and his wife not work out? And he said that him and his wife, they met in high school, and ever since then they just been in love with each other. They got married, and everything just seemed fine. And I do feel like in some way, shape, or form Theodore might have tried to fix Catherine, because he always said that she came from a household where nothing was ever good enough. Nothing she ever did was good enough. So to her, that made her feel like she wasn't good enough. Like she was her biggest critic when it came to writing her own books, because she's an author, and he would be the first one who would kind of like look over her writing, tell her what she should edit, things like that. Like he was her number one cheerleader. He was her number one fan. You feel me? And I think he mentioned that when she became unhappy in their marriage, she grew to have depression. He wanted her to take Prozac, and she was against it, and that's why she divorced him. Because she felt like he was trying to program her to be this happy-go-lucky woman when that's just not who she is. So they at the table, they talk about life, and he asked her how's the book going. She said the book is great, and that sometimes she can be a little too hard on herself. And he said, you're very hard on yourself. He said, you're like your biggest critic. And he was telling her about one of the books that she wrote in high school that made him cry. And she said, everything makes you cry. And he said, that's because I'm a very emotional, sensitive guy. And she asked him if he sing anyone, and he said that he sing this woman called Samantha, right? She was like, what is she's like? And, he just went and said, my laptop, computer, AI, Samantha. And she was just like, whoa, you're dating your computer? And he was like, he said something. He said that the computer AI, I'm going to just say the AI computer, that's what my Scarlett Johansson, has feelings even though she's an AI chip. Like, he can actually talk to her, express how he feels without being put down. She expressed how he feels. She shuts him off because she feels like it's an attack on her character. And she said she always felt like when they were together that he wanted her to be this happy-go-lucky, bloomy, sunny, smiling wife in LA, and that's just not who she is. And he said he never wanted that. And oh my God, what the fuck did she say? She said something. He said that that's not what he wanted for her. He never wanted her to fake to be anything. But at the same time, it's also like their personalities are completely different. Theodore and his ex-wife personalities are completely different. She's more laid back and more standoffish, where he's more open, more emotional, more positive. Like, I would say out of all the characters I've seen Joaquin Phoenix play, this probably was like the one that was different. He was vulnerable, he was emotional, he wasn't the very lonely, average, isolation type self, you feel me? Like, he had friends in this movie, he definitely had friends. He just wanted to feel a love connection with someone, because his wife left him because she felt like his love was too overpowering, whatever that means. And in the AI chip Samantha he was dating, she cheated on him because she grew a connection with someone else. So at the end of the movie, it made him feel like he is not good enough for love. Like, why is it whenever he put his eggs in one basket or give that person his all, they turn around and say it's too much. Like, you're suffocating me with too much love. And his ex-wife, Catherine, told him that he's dating a computer because he doesn't know how to handle real emotions. And he said, what real emotions can I handle? And he said, maybe it's you who can't handle real emotions. And she said, what was that? She said, come on, say it again. She said, I'm such a horrible person, you shouldn't be able to hold back. He said, in our marriage, I was never really the issue. You were the problem. You made it feel like whenever I was trying to help you or I stepped in as a husband, it was me trying to fix you, when it's like, that's not where it came from. Like I said, the only thing I feel like he tried to fix her on in the aspect was trying to make her open. Like, to him, obviously, he knew that when he wants to get married, he wanted to be married to a woman who doesn't have an issue opening up about her feelings. But that wasn't the woman that he married. So maybe he tried to fix that about her, make her more open, but that's just not who she was, right? She describes him trying to make her open, trying to force her to laugh and smile when he told her that's not where it came from. You feel me? And they get to arguing at the table and everything like that, and the waitress come up and she talks about if they need any help. And she was like, no. She said he was just telling me about how he's dating his new cool little laptop, and he told her that if you would have just listened to the beginning of the conversation, you would have known what I was really trying to say. I don't think Theodore was trying to attack Catherine's character. You feel me? But it's like at the same time, you can't judge me for dating what I find attractive. You feel me? You're the one who wanted a divorce. You got on my ass for never signing the papers because due to my heart still being connected to you. I signed these papers. I give you what you want. Now you on my ass because you have an issue with me dating an AI computer, and you think because I'm dating an AI computer that means I can't handle real emotions. When honestly, when we were in a relationship, you were the one who can't handle real emotions. Because she mentioned that he wanted to put her on Prozac, and that was just the final straw for her. Like, you want me to take happy pills so I can feel in the moment. When it's like, no, I wasn't trying to make you take happy pills. You were depressed due to your book. Because you couldn't write a book. You had writer's block. So maybe it was depression. And he just thought if I put you on Prozac, you could feel a little bit better. I understand people don't want to take pills. You feel me? Pills, medication, all that have a different effect on people. I personally believe that taking like antidepressants or Prozac, I feel like that shit makes you more sad in my opinion. I just feel like it makes you more sad. I watched The Sopranos. I watched how Tony's behavior and AJ's behavior was once they started taking the Prozac, and I just felt like it made them more sad. Like, I don't really think it helped, and I don't think they should have been taking, this amount of milligrams just to feel better. They can OD if you take too many pills, you feel me? So I can get why she feels like, I don't need Prozac or none of that shit to feel happy. I get that, but at the same time, Theodore was her husband, right? So it's his job to step in and to say something when he noticed there's something off about his wife. If he didn't step up and try to get her help, then he would have been an awful person. So and my thing with her is that she's the one that's confusing. You made it seem like I was trying to fix you, but then you're sitting here saying I can't handle real emotions. When it's like, no, you're the one who can't handle real emotions. Because whenever I try to step in like a husband, you made it feel like I was judging you or that I was trying to make it seem like you're just not perfect. When it's like, no one's fucking perfect. You feel me? I just feel like with Kathleen, it's like, take some accountability. You feel me? I don't know if you divorced me so you get a reaction out of me and you thought as long as I don't sign the papers, you could come back, we'll be cool, chilling, oh well. I just like at the end of the day, Theodore, if he want to date his AI chip laptop, okay, let him do what he want to do. It's his life. At this point, my thing is, what I find funny is that, because literally when I watched the movie, I connected this to my own personal experiences. The very first question he asked her was different from the very first question she asked him since they've been separated. The very first question this man asked her was, how is life? How's your book? Do you know what her first question was? Are you seeing anyone? Not how are you? How's work? How's the family? It was, how are you seeing someone? To me, I think that is like manipulation. And a lot of people are going to say, how is it manipulation? Well, I feel like at the end of the day, if you and an ex broke up, right, and you know y'all gonna get separated, but y'all still like in contact with each other or whatnot, or y'all trying to work on making it be a friendship, cool. But to me, from my own personal experiences, any ex I've ever dated, and I only have 3 exes, out of 3 of them, only 2 check in on me. The other one don't speak. I'm not mad at it. Life is life. That's how shit go. But the one I was with not too long ago, whenever he texts me, he always asks me, am I seeing anyone? Am I single? How's the love life? It's like, you're not going to ask me how I am, how's life, how's work, how I am mentally, how I am spiritually. You don't ask me any of that shit. The first thing you want to know is if I'm in a relationship or not. And me being who I am and how I'm wired, I'm going to text you back and ask you, why do you need to know? You've moved on. You got your own life. You're happy. Blah 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 blah. Being with me clearly isn't what you wanted. So why would you be so upset if I'm with someone who sees everything in me that you failed to lack because you wanted to break up. If you break up with me, you don't have the right to ask me how's my love life. Are you kidding me? To me, it's like a manipulation tactic, and like I just said, why I feel like it's a manipulation tactic is because if your ex asks you that, it's really just because they're trying to see if you're off the hook. Like, it's just manipulation. Like, I can't really explain it other than that. Like, you really just trying to see if I'm off the hook. Like, whatever you doing right now is for fun, and then you think you're gonna hit a U-turn and turn around the block. Like, that ain't how it's going. So to me, I thought it was crazy that his first question to her was literally, how's your book, how's life? And hers was, are you seeing anyone? To me, that just shows who really was in love with who more in the marriage. Like, damn, Catherine. We've known each other our whole lives, been married, you feel me? And you can't even ask me how I'm doing. You just ask me, am I seeing anyone? Are you killing me? Because she didn't even ask him how he was doing, he just went ahead and said that I've been, trying to get better since the whole separation. He just had to say something because she didn't ask. So, because I know a lot of people feel like who's wrong or who was right. I don't feel like neither one was wrong, nor do I feel like neither one was right. At the end of the day, they're both entitled to their own feelings when it comes to their marriage failing. She's entitled to say she thinks their marriage failed due to his part. He's allowed to say that he thinks that their marriage failed due to her part. At the end of the day, sometimes in a marriage, it takes two to destroy it, or sometimes it only takes one. For real. And I feel like you can ask me for a divorce, be on my ass about signing the papers, but then turn around and ask me if I'm seeing anyone. And if I tell you yes, you get angry. That don't even make sense to me. You didn't want me. You wanted a divorce. So why are you upset if someone else that I'm seeing see all the good parts about me that you lacked and walked away from? You don't get to be upset. Especially when you're the one who acts. When you don't get to be upset, especially when you're the reason why we're at where we're at. In this awkward ass situation where we can't even speak to each other even though we were married. You feel me? So I just feel like that thing always blew me because it's like, girl, why are you so angry? You're the one who wanted a divorce, so why are you even that hurt? Make it make sense. That's all we wanted to say. I ain't really want to say too much. This is not a movie review. This is me just talking about one of my favorite scenes from the movie, which was the table discussion. As always, it is nice talking to you guys, and I will catch you on my next video.